Welcome back to Watch Anime Pro. I want to take a moment to thank you for 300 subscribers. I am thankful to every one of you who has taken the time to watch, like, comment, and subscribe to our videos. Now, onto the anime. After being attacked by Adami, Al's parents are found alive by Red and Dr. Newman. The people of South Marsh protest, claiming that Adami is being sheltered by the town guard, led by the captain of the guard, Moen, who is Adami's father. Red and Rit use their connections to get an audience with Moen. Moen apologizes for Tanta's treatment and returns him to his father. He also commissions Rit to find the source of the drug that's causing havoc in the town. Al receives a red-bladed shotel, but Rit is able to sense a locate enchantment on it that will let the caster know where the blade is at all times. Rit catches a drug dealer, but is caught in an ambush from which Danon saves her. They also discover that the assailants are disguised minor demons. As Red and Rit later go into town to find Al a weapon suitable for his blessing, protests against the town guard are heating up, likely staged by Big Hawk himself. Meanwhile, the hero's party has found an airship, but during the fight with its demon guardians, Ares proves his inadequacy as a party member. Rudy wants to use the ship to find her brother, but realizes that as the hero, she must continue on with her mission. Rit is able to deal with Dio and the members of the Thieves Guild, who sent Al the red shotel to track him. Big Hawk, though, is still able to kidnap Al, bringing him to his hideout. Al learns that Big Hawk is the one responsible for distributing the drug that has been plaguing Zoltan. Big Hawk also has Adami in his custody, and wants Al to execute him in front of all his followers. However, Al instead frees Adami, and they are both saved by Red. It is discovered that Big Hawk has actually been taken over by a contract demon named Belial, who has ambitions to become king of Zoltan. Belial and Albert create a contract and then confront Red. Albert tries to attack Red, but Red cuts off his sword hand. Belial and Albert are both arrested by the town's guard, and Al and Adami reveal the conspiracy to the public, easing the crisis. A few days later, while taking a bath together, Red and Rit discuss their relationship, and it's revealed that their relationship is getting stronger, with Red saying "I love you" to Rit. Meanwhile, Bui visits Belial in prison and reveals himself to be Shisandan, the Demon Lord's general supposedly slain by Rudy. Bui scolds Belial for exposing humans to the potential of the Devil's Blessings drug. Belial is able to get away from Bui, and then finds Albert to make a new contract and breaks them both out of prison to find the hero's party. However, their escape is interrupted by Rudy herself, who draws a sword against them. Back with Red and Rit, they see off Al, who has decided to start adventuring and joins a party. As Red and Rit gear up for the winter season by marketing hand warmers, Shisandan, still disguised as Bui, becomes a B-ranked adventurer in Zoltan. Rudy is granted some Devil's Blessing from Belial, but she desires more, causing her to leave Ares, Theodora, and Albert. She and Tisei set off for Zoltan to find Godwin, who can create more of the Devil's Blessing. Along the way, Tisei encounters Red at a roadside food stall and recognizes him as a seasoned adventurer. Later, Red and Rit are summoned to a fairy dragon hamlet to treat an archfey named Undine, who has been afflicted with a magical drain spreading across Zoltan. The source of this drain is a powerful entity that is threatening the entire land. Red and Rit agree to help, but soon realize they need more information and support to take on such a dangerous foe. Meanwhile, Rudy and Tisei are on a mission to break Godwin out of prison. However, their mission is not without its setbacks, and Godwin is injured in the escape. They seek out the local apothecary to get medicine to treat him. To their surprise, Rudy finds Red, and are at last reunited. As Red and Rudy catch up, they learn about Ares' treachery. Rudy offers to kick Ares out of the party, but Red declines and states that he wants to stay in Zoltan with Rit. Rudy then announces that she wants to stay with Red, thus giving up on her being the hero. As she returns to the inn, Rudy experiences a sudden spell of sickness, compelling her to look for a set of elven ruins rumored to be in the area to serve as a secret laboratory for making the Devil's Blessing. Meanwhile, Bowie is revealed to be the one responsible for the recent magic drainage in the area through the use of an enchanted crystal heart. Rudy tries to settle in Zoltan, but her formidable personality hampers her attempts at remaining inconspicuous. Red, wanting to spend time with Rudy, takes her to the sauna to relax, but Rudy with the hero's blessing is unable to feel the heat, and her resistance to water allows her to dry just by shaking, to the amazement of the townspeople. While taking a bath together, Rudy explains to Rit and Tisei how much of an emotional support her brother is for her, especially since her blessing as a hero has made her unable to express any feelings. Tisei quietly resolves to save Rudy from her forced destiny in the hero's role. Ares, Theodora, and Albert are closing in on Rudy's trail. During a break, Theodora explains to Albert that people are not shackled by their blessings from determining their own destiny. She had to struggle to find her own way and not let her blessing control her life. After Tisei reveals Rudy's vulnerability to the Devil's Blessing, Red and Rit make plans to interrogate Godwin at the Elven Ruins. Meanwhile, Danon has a chance encounter with Red and learns about his sister's situation. At the ruins, Red meets with Rudy and Godwin, encouraging Rudy to live her life on her own terms rather than being bound by her blessing. They discuss the consequences of using the Devil's Blessing, and Rudy reveals that she has developed an unprecedented blessing without a name. As they talk, Ares appears and attacks them. After a brief battle, Rudy mortally wounds Ares and tells him he is no longer allowed to travel with her. A distraught Ares is later approached by Shisandan, the Asura demon, still disguised as Bowie, the adventurer. Bowie offers assistance, but Ares is able to heal himself with his own magic. Bowie then reveals that there is an artifact left over by the first hero within the ruins. Bowie suggests that if Ares can retrieve the magical artifact, he may be able to win Rudy back. Meanwhile, the real Danon finally catches up with Theodora and Albert. Together, they set off to find Red and Rit at the Elven Ruins. As the heroes travel through the ruins, Danon catches up to Bowie and Ares. Bowie reveals himself to be Shisandan and critically wounds Danon with Ares' assistance. Bowie and Ares eventually reach the chamber that houses the artifacts they seek. 5 sword blades, siblings to the sacred sword wielded by Rudy and remnants from the era of the first hero. When Red's group finally arrives, Ares and Shisandan attack them in a bid to kill Red and sway Rudy back to her role as the hero. Theodora joins the fray as well and attacks Rudy, hoping to steer her back onto the path of the hero as well. However, Rit argues that anyone can be a hero as long as they have the will of the people behind them, not just those blessed with special abilities. Despite the odds stacked against them, Red, Rudy, Rit, Tisei, and Godwin band together and fight their enemies. Red kills Ares, but Shisandan tricks Rudy into touching one of the sacred blades, which compels her to follow her blessing's compulsions. In a tragic turn of events, Rudy attacks Red, but Tisei takes the blow meant for him, critically wounding her. Red manages to disarm Rudy, freeing her from the sacred blade's influence, but her blessing has been nullified. Her attempts to heal Tisei fail. Theodora, who had previously believed in the hero's blessing, sees the error of her ways and uses her powers to heal Tisei's mortal wound as an act of repentance. Red and his companions manage to overcome their enemies and reach a new understanding about what it means to be a hero. The group comes to the realization that one's blessing does not determine their destiny, but rather, it is their own choices that make them a hero. In the end, Rudy and Tisei relocate to Zoltan, where Rudy has been granted a new blessing that suppresses her previous hero's blessing. Red and Rit settle down as a married couple into a more peaceful life in Zoltan, except for the occasional emergency that Rudy chooses to resolve or not. Overall, the group has gone through a transformative experience, overcoming treachery, betrayal, and their own preconceptions about what it means to be a hero. They have come out stronger and more unified with a newfound understanding of the power of choice and the importance of standing together in the face of adversity. This concludes Season 1 of Banished from the Heroes Party. Thank you very much for watching. Again, if you enjoyed this recap, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. And with your continued support, we hope to grow this channel even further. See you next time.